How you doing, Cali To The Crowd? Welcome back to the channel that makes calisthenics simple. Today we're talking about the front lever, and specifically we're talking about building strength towards that skill in particular. In the past, when I've learned calisthenics skills, a lot of them have kind of come from a mishmash of trying the skill and getting strong enough to do them. But with the front lever, because it's such a high level skill, I really have spent a lot of time just building up that foundational strength before I go about actually targeting anything specific to the front lever. In my day zero of the front lever, I tried it out and it was very obvious I had a long way to go. So I've been spending the last 6 weeks or so just really focused on building up that base level of strength in horizontal pulling and vertical pulling. A lot of people that can do the front lever are also quite proficient in weighted pull-ups as well, so I've been working on those. But essentially just really getting to grips with being able to pull myself through the air. When it comes to strength, what we should be doing is building muscle first in order to actually have the capacity to do the things that we want our body to do. And then we should target specific exercises around the pattern that we're looking to do. This is something that isn't actually that new to calisthenics, and something that powerlifters and strongmen have been doing for a very, very long time. We want to actually be able to set ourselves up to be in the best position to do the challenge that we're putting to our body. Now I finally feel like I'm at that point where my shoulders can actually deal with the sort of exercises that I want to be trying to achieve, like the front lever negative, like the actual front lever hold itself. So I'll be showing you more of the sort of stuff that I'm going to be doing over the next 6 weeks to really get to a point where I can start really leveling up my front lever training. But like I said earlier, I've got to get some work done and then we'll head to the gym after breakfast. Today's breakfast is just some sausages with some vegetables that I've thrown together. It's about midday, and a lot of people actually ask me why I eat breakfast so late. In my vlogs in the past, I've spoken about this a little bit, but I essentially inadvertently intermittent fast. I've never really been hungry when I wake up. I tend to feel more hungry around the middle of the day. That's just what works for me. I don't do it because I believe that there are some amazing benefits that come from fasting in particularly. I tend to stop eating at about 8 o'clock. That's not to say that if you give me a meal at 8 or 1, I'm going to decline it. If I'm hungry, I'll eat it. You know, there's no dogma around why I do it. It's just something that works for me, especially with my work schedule. If that's something that's worked for you in the past, let me know down in the comment section below. I know lots of people benefit from having lots of different ways of eating, but I personally have always thought that there is nothing that is ever going to supersede total calories in versus total calories out. I think as well, the type of food you eat can have a really big impact on your energy levels and how you feel. Personally, I think whole foods will always trump everything. Try and make sure that you're eating loads of vegetables as well. But again, all under the umbrella of total calories in versus total calories out. So jumping into today's workout, I started with some front lever holds. Aside from isometrics being a great way for building strength in specific ranges, actually holding a front lever is always going to be the best way for how we get an understanding of how we do the real thing when we eventually get the strength enough to do it. I've been working with a thicker band up to now, but this is the first time I've used this thinner black one. There's only one band smaller than this one that I own, so it's actually quite exciting to see where I'm going to be getting with these over the next couple of months. Hopefully this will mean that I can work my way down to the real thing. After this, I moved onto front lever negatives. I think ultimately when building strength, you cannot get away from doing negatives. I really do struggle with these, and as you can see, I do tuck one leg in on my way down. As I get more tired, sometimes I even tuck 2 legs in just to really make sure that I'm controlling that negative. You will really feel these in the lats, and actually as I start to fatigue, one thing I personally have to be really conscious of is just making sure that I keep my shoulders in the position that I want them to be in. I found that when I started doing these front lever negatives, what I used to do would be to elevate the shoulders. My own weight would pull my shoulders up towards my ears, so I have to be really conscious about making sure that they stay depressed, because that's where the shoulders should be in the front lever proper. After this, I moved on to weighted pull-ups. Right now I'm pulling 25 kilograms. I really want to get to a point where I'm pulling at least half of my body weight. But since I dropped down to 77 kilos, what I found is that this exercise in particular has been what has suffered the most. So making sure that I'm pulling for these pull-ups with real intentionality and real quality is something that I've absolutely prioritized across all of my training. Dynamic horizontal rowing was what I did next, and simply I just did these TRX rows. The aim with this, to make it more specific to the front lever, is to pull to the waistline. These are deceptively difficult, and actually what you'll see is that at the top of this position, the body position is very similar to what you'd have in a front lever. And even though the front lever is a straight arm skill, bent arm strength is always going to be the absolute limiting factor to what we can express with straight arms. And then I wrapped everything up with some pull-up isometrics. I find with weighted pull-ups, I don't spend enough time at that top of the movement because I'm so focused on getting my head over the bar and lifting as heavy as I can. But what I want to do is make sure that I'm still getting stronger at that hardest part of the pull-up, at that top of the rep. So I make sure to spend about 15 odd seconds holding an isometric, and actually on the way down I end up doing a negative as well, so you know, you got the double whammy there. And apparently I can't do a training session without doing a handstand as well. So while I was very tired and it showed, I made sure to kick up into a handstand a couple of times. But all in all, it was a very good session. I've just arrived at my in-laws' place, Anna's family, which basically means I'm going to be spoiled rotten and probably fed until I absolutely burst. But before I go and stuff my face, I want to know, what are you guys training towards? What are you guys looking to build on? Obviously, I'm working towards the front lever, but I really want to understand, what skills are you pushing towards? How are you getting there? What are you training to actually do it? Let me know down in the comment section below, and yeah, keep the conversation going. I'll see you guys in the next one.